G'day, Spark Millie here, and welcome back to our McLaren Motorsport Manager F1 2021 Manager Mod Save Season 2. Alright, I hope you're all having a fantastic day/night. Welcome back to the series. Today we've got the Interlagos GP, which is looking to be quite entertaining with plenty of rain in, well, practice doesn't really matter, but the race, and I reckon when it's either side of qualifying, it usually sneaks into qualifying. But first off, if you're still enjoying the series, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing if you're not already. I had a decent amount of growth the last couple of weeks, so I'd love to keep that going. Also leave any thoughts, feedback, and suggestions down in the comment section below. That being said, let's get started. So designing a new part-time. Now, we have dropped down to third on the top speed, which explains why Red Bull had a bit of pace last weekend, and of course we're still third on the gearbox, but there is still an advantage in every other area, and we are still the best car on grid on paper. However, I did look at building a new gearbox, but we just don't have the components this season. We've sort of maxed out our gearbox potential for the year, but we want to rectify this top speed on the engine. So I'm going to actually upload this save at the end, and if anyone wants to keep playing, I'll post it in my Discord. You guys can download the file and play it. So I want to set anyone who wants to play it, set them up with a good engine, you know, keep it up, because that's one of the most important parts in this mod. So 1663, is that better than our current engine? Let's have a gaze here. Yes, much better. So we're going to build one of them, and then maybe after that we can even look at building a legendary one, because we do have a fully upgraded test track now, so that would be mint if we can get a sick engine. So let's go ahead and do what we did before, 15, and then risk level we can do that because it is a next year car part. Let's do that one as well. Yeah, for sure. Alright, let's build that one. 1698. Holy smokes. Alright, so on the improved part side of things, we're going to improve the performance of the new rear wing, so it can be 1480. It's going to be one day before the race, so it's going to be pretty tight to get the reliability up to an acceptable level, but we'll give it a crack. Alright, new sponsor slot. I'm honestly, again, not sure who was in this spot last time, but we got new offers. The most money, this one. And also, I think it would look the nicest on the car, if I'm being honest, because it's sort of a white with no other colors. Sometimes the other colors clash with the livery a bit, so I'm not really sure whereabouts on the car that is, but oh yeah, on the rear wing there. So that's a nice new sponsor. So there is a politics vote as well. This is quite a big 10 days between Grand Prix, lots of stuff to do. This will benefit progressive teams. Well, I wouldn't say I'm progressive. I kind of like things staying the same, but I guess McLaren are. But I'm just going to abstain, like I said, let the other team managers do what they want, and it's going to be against quite heavily, so my vote wouldn't have even mattered. Okay, so we did clutch it with the rear wing. As you can see there, we got up to a 59%, which I think is enough. We never really have reliability issues. We'll give it to Lando just because he's leading the championship by so much. If anything does go wrong, he's got a buffer. We don't want Ricciardo to drop out of the championship race with reliability issues, but I have a feeling it won't be an issue. So we now have 2 equal 1480 rear wings on the car, which is a good improvement from 150. Alright, qualifying time, and like I predicted, rain has snuck into qualifying quite heavily. As you can see, the rain's pouring down in Q3. But in Q1, we had rain, and wow, it's really yonking down. And as you can see there, lots of different colours there on the left of the screen. We lost Verstappen, Hamilton, and Russell all in Q1. Both Ferraris made it through, so they're going to be our main competitors this qualifying session. We're just going to go forward to the dry period here. It's probably going to be a one-run type of day, so we're going to go right to the end and send them out with about 2.5 to go to try and maximize the track grip as well. But yeah, hopefully I really want to get a 1-2 today. I think it just has to happen. We've got to beat both Ferraris. We'll send them out now to make sure they get across the line. We did qualify in Q2 on the softs, but whether everyone set a time on the slicks, I'm not 100% sure. So if people have got times on the inters, then it unlocks the tire choice for everyone, because obviously yeah, if it's a dry race tomorrow, you can't start on wet tires, and we get a first and third. Oh my days, we've dropped the ball there. Come on, Norris. You finished behind Leclerc. To be fair, Leclerc's very close to Ricciardo. So the Ferrari could have paced this weekend in a, let's have a look here. In a weekend where Hamilton's 17th, Max Verstappen's 18th, and Russell's 19th. Wow, big race coming up. Alright, race day in Interlagos, and the stakes aren't as high as you'd think with this side of the season, but it's going to be very interesting. I really want to see how these other cars come throughout the grid. I mean, when we had that bad start in Spa, it took us all race to get to a respectable spot, as it does in real life. So, I mean, they could melt through the grid, or considering that they're starting from the back of the grid and didn't have a mistake, I think they'll come through the grid pretty quickly. But let's hope for a good start here. Ricciardo, nice slingshot start to get us going and just drive away from Leclerc. Yeah, there it is. And the race is over. As you see there, Ricciardo shoots forward. Norris falls back behind the grid. Me mentioning Spa brought up bad vibes, and now he's just dropping. We're going to tell Ricciardo just to call it straight away. May as well. It's a very similar track to last time out. So, I mean, it is. I think it's the same track with a couple turns maybe different. So we know how heavy this track is on tyre temperature. And where's Verstappen? He's already up into 13th. Hamilton in 15th. Russell's down in 19th. Hulkenberg's jumped up 2 spots too. Norris drops down to 8th, and he just does not have the pace. We're going to tell him to push a little bit harder here because we cannot have you down in 8th, buddy. But up into 5th. He's in clean air by the looks of it. Up into 4th now. And Hamilton's in 7th. Where's Verstappen? He's still stuck in a bit of battle with Stroll there, so he's struggling. But Hamilton right up in the field already. I swear last time we checked about 2 laps ago he was in about 13th. Now he's up into 6th. He is smashing through this field, but we've already got a 10-second lead on him. And he's just about to climb into 6th. Oh no, he's battling to get into 6th. And his old teammate Bottas is next up, and he'll pass him with ease. Look at that overtake. Hamilton is on a warpath. Next up is our boy Norris. Hopefully we got a bit of pace. But Norris is pushing pretty hard. So we're going to tell him to cool it a bit. Make sure we save some fuel and keep the tyres in a good range. Mazepin's in 3rd. What? Hopefully Norris doesn't not get stuck in Mazepin. That would not be ideal. But he's got Verstappen right up his gearbox. And not Verstappen, Hamilton. Hamilton's through. Hamilton is just a beast lately. Look at him go. That being said, Norris is going to come back at him. He's battling. Come on, Norris. I believe in you, mate. Get past him. Nah. Hamilton is going to probably pass. Oh, Mazepin's got a pit anyway. He's on dead tyres. I don't know what Nikita's doing on that tyre, but anyway, I didn't even check for rain, but there's not much we could have done. We started on the softs anyway. But yeah, we should be able to make that wet period quite easily. So Hamilton, on the other hand, hopefully not. I mean, in real life, surely he'd have more tyre wear all is battling through the field. But he's sending purple sectors. This guy's an absolute animal. I wonder how quickly he would get past Leclerc. He's already passed Leclerc. Oh, Leclerc pitted. Never mind, not as impressive. But he is going to have to pit before the wet period, so we are laughing. We will be in 1-2 in this race. Norris had a bad start, but recovered quite well. And Hamilton pits, and we are now 15 seconds clear. Oh no, 17 seconds clear. Russell is still to pit. Okay, so the rain is starting to fall here, and these boys need a pit soon. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they go on slicks or inters. I'm assuming inters because other people are already on them. But that being said, it's not quite into weather. I think maybe the next column is more like into weather. But right now, it's not into weather. I'm overruling the drivers here. And I'm saying that's not into weather. That is definitely slick still, surely. Maybe in the next column as we get closer. We'll keep an eye on these times. But we'll bring them in now because we're almost in the next column. But I'm pretty happy with that decision to keep them out for a bit longer. That pit error window is climbed to 12%, which isn't ideal. I did put inters on Ricciardo's car, right? This is not a race for mistakes. Let me just do it again just to be sure. I definitely did on Norris, I remember doing it, but there we go. Now we can be sure. Ricciardo gets out with a 2.1, beautiful pit stop, and Norris with a 2.3, not too shabby at all. Be great to get under 2 seconds, but of course, late in the season, the pit crew are all pretty fatigued. But come out in P1 and P2, 6 seconds at Hamilton in 2nd place, and 18 seconds ahead of him in 1st place. Okay, so the wet period is over, and I've been watching Stroll's lap times, and they are, not lap times, the gap, and it is shrinking. So I think it is time to get back on the slicks. We're going to try and go on the softs. We'll make it easy with light footed as well. But we're going to pit Ricciardo and we'll pit Norris too. These inters are pretty dead as well at 35%. Hamilton's will be in a similar boat, so he'll probably come in as well. But Hamilton will temporarily go 2nd. Of course, Ricciardo just passed the pit lane, sorry, so he will come in next lap, but that should be fine. We'll go on neutral until they reach optimal, and then when they reach optimal, we'll go on conserve to keep him in. And a 2-second mistake on the tyres, which makes it quite uncomfortable with the gap to Hamilton. Is now on a 10 seconds, so this is going to be quite the finale. We're going to have to hope that he runs out of fuel again, because I think he will catch us. That being said, he's on the mediums. The mediums are not a fast tyre. As that gap grows, supports my point beautifully, and we have plenty of fuel to spare, so let's go on high and conserve, because these tyres are overheating already at this insanely hot track. Okay, 2 laps remaining now, and we've steadied the ship with Hamilton. His medium's almost dead, so he must be pushing bloody hard, because our softs aren't even half dead yet, and we pretty much pit at the same time. So quite a great race from Ricciardo, has to be said. He hasn't always been that great in the equal era, but he got the pole today, and he even had that pit mistake, and he still is leading this Grand Prix. So we'll hear the Australian anthem for the first time in a while. We're going to give Lando one last push to make sure he gets home. He's got plenty of fuel to use. Famous last words if he runs out of fuel, but I don't think he will. Lewis Hamilton does, though. I'm just going to say it every time now. Three things certain in life: Dext. Why do I keep saying Dext? Death, taxes, Lewis Hamilton running out of fuel. But anyway, Ricciardo's going to come through to win the Interlagos GP. Brilliant performance, just a complete performance from Ricciardo today. Fully deserving of the race win. Now, will Leclerc jump Hamilton? I think he will, unless Leclerc's been running out of fuel lately too, so I think he might have run out of fuel. Yeah, he is. He's crawling to the finish line. Russell will overtake his teammate, though, and take a podium. We have not seen Russell on the podium very much this season at all. So, yeah, what a fight back from Russell, Hamilton, and Verstappen to decent results. Not so much Verstappen, but Russell and Hamilton. Hamilton was on an absolute warpath. I don't know how he kept him behind us, but fair play to him. So there it is, first place trophy. Ricciardo on the top step, Norris on the second, and George Russell on the third. I'm actually going to check after how many podiums he's got this year, because I feel like he might have had a couple, but I don't see him up there very often. And despite Hamilton dropping the fall because he ran out of fuel, he got the fastest lap, so he has some serious pace this weekend. Good effort from the lads to get the 1-2. Interview with Autosport. George Russell's agent. Absolutely, who wouldn't want George in the team? Look at that, he's willing to discuss now. So if you want to play this save next season, George Russell is an option, just remember that. Once again, I apologise for this episode being a couple minutes longer than I would have wanted it to be, but in the rain, it just seems to happen. So I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless. Leave a like if you did. The championship is only 16 points in it on the drivers. Obviously, we confirmed last time out that we've won it. Not that we won it last time out either. We had a massive gap before that. We probably won it 4 races ago, to be honest. But George Russell, yeah, that was his first podium in the season. I thought I saw him a couple times, but no, that was the first of the season. So there you go. Good on him, taking full advantage of Hamilton running out of fuel. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the episode. Consider subscribing if you're not already. And I'll see you next time out for mine and Ricciardo's home GP, the Melbourne GP.